Hello and welcome to gusmcdollgames. I'm Nick McDowell and today we're playing part 2 of Baltic Breakout, the 7th mission in the NATO campaign in Naval War Arctic Circle. Naval War Arctic Circle is based on a hypothetical Great Arctic War set in 2030 and fought in the North Atlantic, Arctic, Baltic and the North Sea. The NATO campaign covers the Great Arctic War as experienced from the Northern Partnership and NATO alliances. In Baltic Breakout, the Russian Baltic Fleet is moving towards the Denmark Strait. In Part 1, a Russian surface action group centered on the Pyotr Veliki, a Kirov-class cruiser, tried to force a passage through the Baltic. The Russian ships launched a massive attack on Ronneby Air Base with P-1000 Vulcan land attack missiles. Our strong combat air patrol defeated this attack and shot down all Russian aircraft in the area. We also responded by sinking the Admiral Gorshkov, which was lurking just outside Polish waters and gathering intelligence on our forces. Our objective is to destroy 5 enemy surface combatants and not lose 3 or more of our own. But we still have to defeat the Russian surface action group, and I'm expecting an air attack from Seversky and Pskov air bases to the northeast. Our Copenhagen Airport Aircraft Group has just launched RBS-15s. We'll get their sensors on the go and increase their height, see if we can detect anything. As I said, I'm expecting some incoming air attack. We'll get these guys lower their speed and increase their altitude, and also turn on their sensors. Hopefully we will be able to detect a bit more of what the enemy is about to throw at us. The Poseidon is laying down a number of sonar buoys there. And we have a new detection of a fixed-wing aircraft contact. There we go. So raising the altitude of those aircraft was a good strategy after all. This group has 8 AMRAAMs which they can use to target, and we have new detections of fixed-wing aircraft group. So we'll move this Copenhagen Airport Aircraft Group also up, and we'll get them to target the incoming aircraft. This group will put to the northeast of Ronneby. This pair of aircraft have 8 AMRAAMs, so we'll get them to target. May as well target all of the aircraft that are within range. If nothing else, it'll get them to spoil the attack, cause them to go defensive, and therefore they won't be able to do what they plan to do. So we have a number of AMRAAMs out from that group. Ronneby Air Base here. We have Copenhagen Air Base here. We do have a couple of aircraft we can launch. I will take them and put them to the east of Ronneby, or southeast of Ronneby. And we'll take these 2 aircraft and put them out as well. Okay, this pair still has 4 AMRAAM missiles. It's got a number of missiles out at the enemy aircraft at the moment. It's still got plenty of fuel, 34%. Okay, these aircraft up here have just detected another aircraft coming inbound on them, so they'll turn around and engage. Okay, this F-35s, we'll put them in a holding pattern. Speed up time a little bit. Our aircraft to the north have engaged with an AMRAAM. Okay, and we'll check out what's happening. So we'll try and get these guys pushing to the east or the southeast here to join this air battle. They've got plenty of AMRAAMs. And the missiles are closing in, and we have our first contacts Su-35 Sukhoi flankers. And one of them is shot down. The other one here has a missile inbound. And successfully evades. To the north we have a group of 2 flankers. And one is shot down. And this northern group again manages to evade the AMRAAM by popping flares. It has another one on its tail. Okay, back to the group into the south. Still has 4 AMRAAMs in the group. get this group from Ronneby. Has 8 AMRAAMs. It's got a lot of defensive capability. 1 AMRAAM is out on the flanker here, which turns to evade. Unsuccessfully, and is shot down. Okay, this group, what we'll do is we'll try and get them to return to formation because they seem to be a bit split up at the moment. We'll get them to start flying together again and push to the east. We have a large air contact there. Some more Sukhoi 35s. Down here, again, this aircraft seem to be a bit disjointed. They've got 8 AMRAAM between them. So we might get them to return to formation again as well. Get them flying together. Okay, we have air superiority fighters with 16 AMRAAMs between them, pushing to the northeast. We'll get them in a patrol pattern to the east of Öland. Slow them down a bit so they've got a bit more endurance. Speed up time. Okay, we've got some aircraft with now enough fuel, which is not good. The RBS-15's now moving in on the surface action group. We'll speed up time to develop this attack. We'll get these Gripen returning home. Okay, the incoming missiles are the anti-air or the surface-to-air missiles from the Pyotr Veliki group. Now this is unfortunate in that it shoots down my RBS-15s, but on the other hand is very good because it's using up the defensive stores on this surface action group, and of course once they've used up all of their surface-to-air missiles, then they become very vulnerable to my attacks. So please use as many surface-to-air missiles as you please. And there we go. Okay, this is a large air contact. Not quite sure what this is. Could be air-to-air refueling. Possibly worst case it'd be bombers. Okay, back to the surface action group. What are they doing? Speed up time a bit, see what's happening. They're still moving towards the south with a number of aircraft providing air cover to them. Okay, we've got another detection of a fixed-wing aircraft group to the northeast. We'll launch some more aircraft out of Ronneby. Cruise speed. And get them going to the north to replace the patrol that's coming back to refuel. Speed up time a bit. Okay, another detection of a fixed-wing aircraft contact. We've got a number of fighters tracking towards us. This group can then target the Su-35 with its AMRAAMs. We've also got another group here going into patrol. We'll put them in the channel here to the west of Gotland because there's a number of aircraft seem to be tracking that way, moving in on our Gripen that are returning back to refuel. We'll move this aircraft to a slightly northerly patrol position from what we had them at. This group, same, we'll move them to the northwest. Okay, so this Su-35's tracking towards the Gripen. They've still got some AMRAAMs, these Gripen, so we'll get them to defend themselves against this inbound attack. And again, with any luck we'll get a hit, but otherwise we'll spoil the attack. Copenhagen, we've got another air-to-air refueling asset which we'll put up in a patrol pattern there, because that will allow this aircraft to then move over to here and support those Gripen. Yeah, make it slightly to the east to make it less of a target. So the AMRAAMs are out from these Gripen towards the Su-35s, which is good. Give them a bit of a punch. May as well launch on every aircraft within range, really. Expend all of their AMRAAMs and then head back to refuel before returning to base. Okay, the air-to-air refueler. Get him going down to a more reasonable height, but speed him up. And this group will get him going to a higher altitude. We'll also turn his sensors on so he can provide some sensor support. Limited range, but it's better than nothing. Okay, the Gripen's now expended its AMRAAMs. The other one has down to 1 AMRAAM left, and it's time for them to head back and refuel. They've got a number of AMRAAM out. I'm counting 6 AMRAAMs out at the enemy aircraft. Okay, we'll get him speeding up. Get that refueling support in there. Okay, we'll speed up a little bit and see how these air-to-air attacks develop. And we've got a new fixed-wing aircraft contact to the northeast. And the first missile's in, and okay, we've shot down one flanker. Another Su-35 with a missile inbound. Straight in the face. And yes, shot down. Then this is an Ilyushin Il-78. This is a refueling aircraft, although going very low for that mission. It has an AMRAAM missile coming in on it. And there we go. Shot down a fairly high value asset because that helps the Su-35s maintain persistence over in their combat air patrol over the fleet. Another AMRAAM coming in on Su-35, and yes, it's shot down. So we've done a lot of good work here to clear the combat air patrol away from the surface action group. We'll get these guys pushing to the north a little bit faster. We're detecting more and more aircraft to the north. We'll get these guys on an intercept. Okay, this group has got 2 AMRAAMs left, so we may as well target this Su-35 with the remainder, then we can send them home. This group here is tracking to the north with 12 AMRAAMs, which will come in handy shortly. This group here is circling the island in a patrol pattern. I'd left them there when we still had the Admiral Gorshkov, so I think I'll push them to the northeast now, cover this approach to the Gulf and provide a bit more support to our ships. We'll speed up time a bit, see the battle develop. Okay, this group's got 16 AMRAAMs, they're almost within range. Okay, 1, 2 and 3 groups coming within range, so now we'll start targeting the enemy aircraft to give a bit of protection to the Gripen that are heading south to refuel. Again, it forces these enemy aircraft to break contact and go defensive, so it spoils their plan. That's sometimes called a mission kill, where it prevents them from accompanying their mission even if it doesn't shoot them down. Okay, that's not good news. We have just detected a large number of land attack missiles. We'll come back to them in a moment. Okay, but this group here is essentially out of fuel and out of weapons. Fight its last AMRAAM against the land attack missiles, and otherwise we'll go back to the refueling aircraft. Same with this aircraft, we'll get him back to in-air refueling before he heads back returns to base to rearm. These aircraft, we'll get them to the north. They've got Kongsberg JSMs. These guys have got AMRAAMs. We'll actually get them against the land attack missiles. And here's a Su-35 and another. So we've shot down 2 Su-35s. So that's been some fairly good work. We still have one in the area north of Gotland. We'll push these guys up to the north. So we have some AMRAAMs onto this land attack missile salvo here. And we'll push these guys. They're going to the north as well. They've also got Kongsbergs and AMRAAMs. And as you can see, we're putting a lot of AMRAAMs into this land attack missile group. These are the Radiger KH-555 Kent Sea missile group. These are land attack, subsonic land attack missiles. They're crossing the southern portion of Gotland. I would assess these are probably on track to attack Ronneby. And it looks like there's a second group as well to the east of them. The eastern group is on a slightly different trajectory, so I would imagine that's going for Copenhagen. It's down here. So they've only got an aerial refueling aircraft, nothing else to defend themselves, so the aircraft we currently have in the air or in Ronneby are a real defense against this attack. The Poseidon's been doing good work, but it's creating a big circle. We put some sonobuoys in the middle of that circle. I've been reluctant to push them to the northeast yet until we get air superiority. Okay, that group of aircraft will also be putting them to the northeast of Ronneby. Ronneby, we have some more aircraft we can launch to protect against the land attack missiles. We really can't let those missiles get through if at all possible. Okay, we've got 8 AMRAAMs, so we'll go and fire them against that missile group, and also save an AMRAAM for the incoming aircraft. You can see we're having some success knocking down the Kent Sea land attack missiles as they come over Gotland. Turn on the radar there, get ourselves a bit of sensor coverage. But my main effort at the moment is to defeat this land attack salvo from the surface fleet, because this is aimed to knock out Runneby and Copenhagen, which would essentially defeat us in this mission. Okay, we'll get these guys to target the surface action group, and then they can concentrate with their remaining AMRAAM on the inbound missile attack. But meanwhile, these Kongsbergs will have the effect of causing the surface action group to expend its defensive stores. Speed up time a little bit, see how the attacks develop. A number of AMRAAMs going out after their targets. Okay, this group here, down to their sidewinders. We'll get them to target the incoming missiles with their sidewinders. Su-35 here, it's got 3 AMRAAMs inbound on it. It's tracking at almost 2,400 kilometers an hour over the strait, and is shot down. Okay, these aircraft still have their sidewinders, so we'll get the sidewinders to target the land attack missiles headed for Runneby, and we'll get these guys to target the second attack that's going towards Copenhagen. Again, sidewinders and sidewinders. Okay, this group's still moving into position. This group here can use its sidewinders and then return to base to rearm and refuel. These Gripen, okay, they've already started launching AMRAAMs against the Runneby attack. This group has 16 AMRAAMs. And as you can see, we're getting some success knocking down the missiles to the east. Speed up time a bit. You see the sidewinders going out and having some effect. There we are, more missiles being shot down. This is excellent. So that first group's now down to 3 missiles, which is much more acceptable, much easier to defeat. Okay, we'll get these guys to return home. They're fully expended. This group here, 4 sidewinders. We'll get them to target the incoming missile attack, which is, as I said before, our main effort. These guys have sidewinders remaining, so as to these guys have sidewinders, so we'll get them to target the missile group with their sidewinders. They're short-range attack missiles. This group's still waiting to get within range for its Kongsbergs, at which time it'll launch them and probably switch to the AMRAAMs. Speed up time a little bit, see these attacks develop. Here we've got a new detection of an Su-35 group tracking in from the northeast. Okay, so we've really got a swarm of aircraft here, swarming all over these land attack missiles, firing everything they've got. AMRAAMs, sidewinders, and we're doing a lot of damage. I think we've already defeated the attack on Runneby now, and we're now really concentrating on the land attack missiles that are headed towards Copenhagen. As you can see, almost all of them are down. And 1 missile left. We'll get these guys to target them with sidewinders. They've acquired. They'll come in from behind. Hopefully they'll launch. There we go. Sidewinders out. And a couple of impacts. And these guys are firing sidewinders. Side aspect. Yep, another hit. And remaining sidewinders out. And there we go. We've defeated the land attack missile attacks. This is pretty good news, because that was a major threat to Runneby Air Base and to Copenhagen. We'll get some of these aircraft, when they've expended most of their weapons, especially their AMRAAMs, we'll just get them to return back to base now. We'll push this refueling aircraft to the west to keep it a bit safe, make it less of a target. Again, with these guys, return back to base. We really need to get them back to rearm, refuel, and get ready for whatever is the next evolution. Okay, get these guys to return back to base as well. Yep, these guys can return to base. These guys are out of ammunition altogether, so return to base. Okay, these guys have still got some AMRAAMs, so we'll leave them in the air. We'll slow them down though to give them more endurance. This group, the Naval Strike Group, is still got AMRAAMs, so we'll again slow them down, keep them where they are. And these are our new picket line. Okay, this group here is 16 AMRAAMs between the group, so that's a good, strong defensive position. The Poseidon here has been doing excellent work laying sonar buoys to the northwest of my surface action group. Clear this area from submarines. At some point I want to push the Poseidon to the east to clear that area as well, but first I need to get air superiority and get rid of the flankers. So back to the Pyotr Veliki surface action group, which is our target. Now expanded, we've detected 5 craft. And here we go, they are launching their surface-to-air missiles, defending against our incoming attacks. There's also the Moskva. We've got a medium surface contact and another medium surface contact we've yet to identify, as well as the Admiral Chabanyenko and of course the Pyotr Veliki, which is the Kirov class cruiser. Okay, back at Ronaby Air Base we now have some more aircraft ready to go, so we'll push them in a combat air patrol up to the north. These are naval strike aircraft, so we'll get them going out here in a holding pattern. Push another couple of aircraft out there in a holding pattern to the east of Öland. And same with these aircraft, we'll push them to the east of Öland. Once they're in position, we'll get them to launch their missile attacks. Okay, Pyotr Veliki group. Firing further surface-to-air missiles, expending their defensive stores. But now these missiles of mine are getting much closer than they were in the past. So I'm not sure what that's going to mean yet. Well, let's have a look. Nope, and defeated. Okay, we'll speed up time a little bit. These aircraft, they've got AMRAAMs, so they're ready to repel the latest wave of Su-35s, so we'll speed up time. We can now launch against this first group that are coming in. And this group, we'll get them, we'll just leave them for the time being. We'll get them to target the northernmost group of Su-35s. We get this group, the RBS-15s are a little bit out of range, but we'll target them anyway. Same with this group here. Well, they can launch already, so they've launched theirs. So we'll get them straight back home. RBS-15s as well. Get them in a position to attack. Yeah, so as soon as they launch their RBS-15s, essentially that's their mission done, so may as well get them back to Ronaby Air Base, rearm, refuel, and cycle them a lot faster. Got our AMRAAMs going on the Su-35s, so we shot down one. Here's another one. Got an AMRAAM straight in the face. Okay, these guys have expended their RBS-15, so we'll get them back to base. These guys heading back to base as well. This group have fired their RBS-15, so again we'll get them back to base. And this just improves our ability to generate sorties. Okay, the Poseidon here, well, he looks to be doing pretty good work. He's only expended about 1/4 of his decast sonar buoys, so we'll leave him there for the time being. But as I said, I want to move him to the eastern basin once I've got air superiority. Otherwise he's just a target. Okay, air-to-air refueling will slow him down. He's at high speed, that's good. Speed up time. Okay, we shot down an Su-35. We've got an AMRAAM here on this remaining one. Is about to make landfall. Gets into Gotland, feet dry. What it would be like to eject at 2390 kilometers an hour. I don't imagine it would be pleasant. Okay, he pops flares. And he manages to evade. He evaded 3 missiles, I think. So this group has got 1 AMRAAM left. They'll fire that, and we'll get them to go back to base, return to base. They're Copenhagen based. Okay, these guys have expended their Kongsbergs, but they're now firing AMRAAM against that Su-35 to the north. Once again, I want to do everything I can to destroy the combat air patrol that's protecting the surface action group. Once the combat air patrol has gone, it makes it a lot easier for me to launch missile attacks against the surface action group. Okay, so these guys have got 12 AMRAAMs, still 24 fuel. They're doing fine. These guys heading back. 16 AMRAAMs and 43% fuel. Yep, slow speed, they're fine. Radars are on. I'll speed up time a little bit, develop this attack against the Su-35. It has a large number of missiles inbound. Yeah, it's got 5 AMRAAMs chasing it. So in addition to the 3 that we sent against it earlier, that's a total of 8 AMRAAMs against the 1 aircraft. I think our chances are quite good. And we shoot it down. As you can see here, the surface action group is firing a number of S-300s against our incoming naval attack missiles. Okay, this group, they're at slow speed, that's fine. Actually, we'll get this group to return to base, back to Copenhagen. This group's returning to base. Okay, Copenhagen, we don't have anything to launch. Okay, so the RBS-15s are being engaged by the S-300s, which I'm quite happy with because, again, that reduces the defensive stores for the surface action group. Okay, another detection of an Su-35. Increase speed, see how this develops. Yep, there we go. We're losing our RBS-15s, but wow, look at the number of missiles coming out to meet them. The Russian surface action group will not be able to keep this up indefinitely. That's a lot of grumbles, a lot of S-300 surface-to-air missiles being launched against our RBS-15s. Now, whilst we can always go back to base and relaunch and push extra aircraft out, either in combat air patrol or in naval strike, the Russian surface action group are limited in their defensive stores. Once they run out, that's it. And they very much will be relying upon these Su-35s to provide combat air patrol, but of course I keep shooting them down. And more S-300s being launched against the RBS-15s. But now it is probably time to bring this episode to a close. In this episode, we defeated 2 land attack missile barrages, one directed at Ronneby and the other at Copenhagen. And we also caused heavy losses amongst enemy fighters and forced the enemy surface action group to expand their defensive stores. In the next episode, we still need to protect our ships and defeat the enemy surface action group, the Piotr Veliki group. So we'll speed up time and we'll see, yep, and our RBS-15 attack. Got more aircraft coming in from the northeast. And our last RBS-15 is knocked down. As always, thanks for watching. For more Naval War Arctic Circle content, check out the NATO campaign and Jersey blockade playlists on our channel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.